Alright guys, this is a tutorial request and this is for a kill counter. So basically this person wants a counter that displays every time you kill someone, the number goes up. Alright, and I'll show you what I have. And then I'll show you the all the logic. Alright, so if I shoot twice, well, I gotta hit it twice. It goes up 1, 2. Oh, did I not hit it? Or 5. Alright, so, and then you can just keep adding up to however many you want. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Let's see how we do that. Alright, I'm going to just go over this quickly, and then I'll put it all together. Alright, so what I did was I pulled in this third person character with the teleporting camera rig and stuff like that. This is our microchip for our this is basically the enemy. Alright, and this is his health, and when his health reaches 0, it sends a variable modifier to the variable name kill counter, which will add 1 when it's powered on, and it will also destroy it, make it basically just, it's completely out of the scene now. Alright, and then in this camera we have a wireless remote controller for now, just for testing purposes, and that goes into an emitter. And the emitter is just a basic emitter, just emitting a sculpt, a round ball, and this is the sculpt right here. And if we open this up, all it has is a health modifier on it, and it's set to -50 per hit on impact. Alright, and that's basically it. Very simple. Oh wait, no, my bad, there's one other thing. Where is the so like I said, this is our variable with the number displayer. So this is the kill counter. Alright, so basically it's initial value 0, minimum value 0, and then maximum value is 1000. You can really put whatever you want. Alright, so basically this variable sends it to this variable. Alright, so that's it. And again, add 1. And to negative, you can do a plus and then -1 if you wanted to negative, to subtract. Of course, you wouldn't want it for this, but for another situation. Alright, so I'm actually going to put this all together now. Alright, so let's just delete it all. Let's literally delete all of it. Actually, let's delete it all. Delete every single thing. Figured this would be a kind of a different way I do things. Maybe I show it quickly and then show it more slowly, or just go over it all and then go slowly. And so you guys can let me know if you like this way. Alright, so basically all I did was I typed in this. This is my true first person perspective camera. I pulled him into the scene. Alright, and then again, if you stamp him in and then you hit L2 triangle, he'll center him good if you have the grids on. Alright, and the grid, the reason that you can see this stuff is because I already have this on. It's gonna look like this for you, and you're gonna put grids on here. Alright, then gadgets, no, not gadgets, this show hide thing, and then preview and visibility, so it'll show that, and then the X-ray will show all the microchips that are that are scoped in. So the next step is let's drop in our enemy. Alright, so we're gonna get a sculpt. Basically this is our simple enemy, a little square. Alright, we only want one of them. Let me just duplicate that. Alright, so same thing. We're gonna go with gadget. We're gonna throw a microchip on this enemy, and then to snap it, you hit L1 and then X That'll basically put it right on it. You know, you can tell the difference between if it's snapped or not because it's, see how it's fat here, and then it's a little skinny when it means it's, you can tell it's attached to this actual object here. And if I take it off, you could even see that it is. Oh, see, now it's attached to that. Well, let's actually pull it up so it doesn't, see the line, you can see it. And then like if you want to like go back, you just hit left on the D-pad, and that will basically what is it, undo what you did. Alright, so let's open this up, and what we need here is, let's get our so we need our variable modifier. Alright, and this variable modifier, actually let's do this first. Let's put our variable here. So we're going to want our variable, this is going to be our variable, we'll call it what do we call it, kill counter 4. Alright, kill counter, that's that. And then this is going to be our initial value, that's what it's going to start at. We're going to hit this at 0. And then again, you can put whatever you want here. X to scope out, and then while we're here, we can actually, square will bring this back up, go into your run gadgets, circle will bring it back down to this. We want in this movers and outputs, we want a number displayer. This is going to display on screen what we have. We want this to power on. So we can open this up, and oh no, that is bad. That's not, we want this. My bad. You just want this number range. Alright, so right now it's displaying 0. For testing purposes, we can just initial value, you can just throw a 1 in here, and then it will display 1. See? Alright, left on the D-pad, and we'll undo. Alright, so we have that. So now we want to send this signal, this, to that. So basically, variable modifier, we want a kill counter. So if you press up or down on the D-pad, it will cycle through the variables that are in the scene. Alright, so you don't have to type it in. So you want to add, right? You want to add 1. So we add 1. And if you want to open this up instead of having to scroll this back and forth, it's L1 and square. Alright. So we want it on when powered on, so it's going to +1 when powered on. Alright, so how are we going to do that? So basically, health modifier, nope, not a health modifier, health manager. This is actually his health. This is like what you would see on a, you know, your health bar, basically. Alright, so we don't need a cooldown on it. So he has 100. So what it says here is currently gaining health. We don't want that. Currently losing health. Nah, we don't want that. We want this. No health. When he reaches no health, it's going to power on. And then what we also want is a destroyer. So it's going to add the 1 and destroy it. Again, just delete it from the scene, you know. So that's literally all we want here. Oh, we can actually, if you go to L1 square, we can go into this sculpture, and we want to tag it as an object. Alright, and I'll show you why. So far, that's good. Why don't we make a couple of these guys? 2. Then if you clone it, how do we clone it? So it's L1 and R2, and then if you hit right on the D-pad, let's show you a better view. So if I go like this, L1 and R2, and then I hit right on the D-pad while still holding R2, it will just duplicate. Oh, well, whatever. Nah, I want them straight. So, alright, so you just have to remember to hold. When you hit L1, R2 clones, keep holding R2, and then hit right on the D-pad, and that will, that'll duplicate them in a row. Alright, so that's that. So we have this, So now we need to be able to shoot it out of somewhere. So we want to shoot something at this enemy. So we want an emitter. Alright. And for testing purposes, we're going to just get a, what do we want? In this sensors and outputs, we want a controller sensor. We can delete this stuff off. We don't need this. Jeez, can't even get it. And then we want to basically R2. So we'll just use our shoot button. So to power it on when we are shooting. But now you need, because it's not over here with this controller sensor, this main controller logic, you need to have it as remote controllable. Alright, so when you hit that button, it's going to emit an object. So now we need to actually emit that object. Alright, so it's going to emit at this speed. We don't want any time in between emits at this moment. We want it just to emit once. So if you held down the button and you had continuous, it would just shoot out fast at basically with no time in between. It would probably come out like a laser. None of that. Object lifetime, I mean, you can have it. This, you probably want this. You know, you want it to eventually die, basically delete itself. So if it's like a bullet, you don't want it to stay in the scene forever. If you put this to 0, it will just go forever. And then I don't know if at a certain point it deletes when it's certain how farther, you know, how far away from the scene it is. It might just do that. I don't know. But for you don't want to just have a lot of objects in the scene that are no longer visible. So you want to have some sort of lifetime on them. If it, you know, a bullet, I don't know, some other objects you might not. You might want them to stay in the scene. So you'd want to put this at 0. Alright, so now we have to actually make another sculpt. And this sculpt is going to be, so we go into modes, sculpture, and we want to make this one a circle. So this one's going to be our bullet. Alright, so hit X to stamp it down. Alright, so now what you want to do with this is we're going to open this up. And we're going to put a, no, we don't need a tag on that, but we do need, go into this, we need to ignore gravity. Because if you don't, it's going to just flop on the ground. It's going to come out from where you shoot, and it's just going to like fall to the ground and roll. So we need one more logic piece on this, and it's going to be a microchip, and L1X stamps it. L1X opens it up, and this we're going to need this one we need a health modifier on it. Alright, you don't got to do much with this. All you have to do is when it hits any of these objects, it's going to, that's fine. So we'll do like we did before. We had -50, so we had to hit it twice. So it's going to per hit impact. So you can have it like a zone, but we're just going to have the actual impact of the ball. Alright, so now what you do is let's close that and then open this emitter back up, and if you drag this to here, it will emit. Alright, so now at the moment it's, oops, I'm gonna grab this and pull this forward. So that means it's gonna, at this speed, it's gonna go straight. And the problem is at this moment, if we leave it like this, it's going to emit way over to the left of our character. So what we can do is we can pull it. So now, if you notice, this is the actual sculpture, and this is where it's emitting from. Alright? And then what you can do is you can size it from here too by hitting down on the D-pad. Alright, down, down, down. Alright. A little more. And then actually, if you want to make these grids smaller or bigger without having to go into this, you can hit L1 on L1 and down on the D-pad, or L1 up on the D-pad makes them bigger. Alright, so we want it to go literally come right out of the camera. Alright. So let's test this. I think this should work right now. So hit the options button on your controller and then play mode, and then you're gonna hit it once, twice, boom, once, twice, boom, and then again they will delete after 3 seconds. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's 4 and 5. All right, perfect. All right, guys. Let me know if you like that. I think that went pretty good, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.